Hey everybody, Craig Patterson here with another exciting WinWire deal for Aryaka. I'm with my man Michael Ratta from Intelisys. He's a solution engineer out of the Mid-Atlantic region and was hugely impactful in helping us win this amazing opportunity. So Michael, thank you so much for the partnership and thanks for being on the WinWire call here.
Thanks for having me, Craig. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about this customer. So your partner, Janelle Holdorf, had a very long-standing relationship with this manufacturing customer who makes cabinetry. I think something like 10 plus years working with this customer. And so talk to me about that engagement. I think they brought to you a very specific challenge. You know, they were looking to migrate off of this legacy MPLS network. They're having some performance issues, having some customer experience issues. And I think ultimately, like looking to transform into a next-gen unified, architecture. So talk to me about the challenges that you ran into working with this customer.
Thanks, Craig. Yeah, absolutely. So part of their challenges were MPLS. So they have a legacy MPLS network. Some of the issues there is they really had zero insight into the performance or any of the problems that were ongoing in that network. What they had to do was reach out to the carrier, have a conversation with their Tier 1 support, Tier 2 support, those types of things to really understand what that problem was, right? So a couple of things with that takes away time from their day-to-day support activities, and it provides no value really for the business other than solving that problem. And that problem should be already solved. So really what we're trying to do was take a look at that network, take a look at that topology, and try to figure out what is the best way to solve this. So let me just say a couple of things. Part of this business, part of the customer's IT environment, there are many acquisitions, right? So if you think about what that may look like, patches of different disparate IT systems. And so one of the beyond the MPLS network, what they really wanted to do, this is the maybe initial step in their digital transformation to really solidify and combine what they have and solve for the use case in terms of the IT department really spinning their chairs, really having to learn those platforms inside and out, whereas we really wanted to help them unify that.
I love that. And I think one of the important points too, were they had made a pretty significant investment, right, in terms of some security, hardware. And so, one of the things about the Aryaka value proposition is we can meet customers where they are, right, where they are in that journey as they transform into their security architecture. So you want to share anything around that?
Sure. So absolutely. So again, part of that digital transformation is they had some disparate firewall systems, some security platforms, but one of the ones that they did want to really align with was Palo Alto. So they had a lot of skills and experience there. And really what that did was really align them very, very well to Aryaka, right? So as we know from the SD-WAN platform side, we can solve the MPLS issue and re-architect that network design with DIA and some other different network solutions. But at the same time, from that security side, from the SASE side, they really wanted to stick with those Palo Altos. And to do that with Aryaka, you can virtualize. So what they're doing today is virtualizing those systems, and they're comfortable. Again, it's a system that they're comfortable with, they have experience with, and they can continue to move on with providing that same service, and this time on Aryaka.
I love that. So in the end, let's talk a little bit about the solution we provided, because this customer, this manufacturing customer, they have, 43 sites today, and they're growing, as you mentioned, through acquisitions. So in the end, these customers are unified on this SD-WAN architecture, domestically across those 43 sites. We have a primary circuit, we have a secondary circuit, and we have a tertiary circuit, right? Which is a very unique use case. And then we can also virtualize the Palo Alto, appliances on our Aryaka networking devices. And so in the end, they were able to accomplish what they're looking for, right? Transition to this unified approach, this next-gen architecture, and ultimately solve some of those legacy challenges they were running into. Why? So when you were vetting all these providers out, Michael, and I know this was an exhaustive engagement, like they literally did their homework, right? And they looked at every single option, which says a lot in the fact that Aryaka comes out winning this when we compete against some of the biggest providers out there. Why ultimately do you think Aryaka was able to come home with this victory and beat out some of these big, large telcos and some of these other well-known SD-WAN and SASE providers?
Sure. This is gonna be a long-winded answer, so grab some popcorn. But essentially, a few reasons why. Number one, we definitely talked about that digital transformation and making the life easier for the IT department by standardizing on a single platform from that SD-WAN perspective. And then the underlay network you mentioned, they're in most sites. Again, this is a manufacturing company, and they've had issues with outages, right? So one of their hard requirements was they wanted three networks per site minimum, especially at the manufacturing sites, because anytime there's any type of downtime at the manufacturing sites, that immediately means loss, right? So loss of an ability to produce, loss of the ability to provide those cabinetry to their customers on time. And so by providing that SD-WAN solution with those different, like you said, different DIA, diverse connectivity, diverse path, and tertiary, we gave them many different options. And there was a couple of really challenging locations, particularly Mexico. So just over the border in northern Mexico, they had a couple of sites where they definitely had some problematic connectivity. Through Aryaka, we were able to do a single source, right? So both that network as a service aggregation, whatever you want to call it, and the SD-WAN. So really, it's a single engagement for this customer where they can contact Aryaka for all the help that they need. And just thinking a little bit more about that, what I would say is Janelle's relationship with that customer was incredibly important. And you could really tell that she had been working with them for quite a while and really, had their confidence that she could do what she was saying she could do. So I think she was an incredible, important part of this win.
That's awesome. By the way, just to wrap this up, I mean, this deal is significant. We're talking $134,000 a month with a total contract value of, you ready for this? $4.8 million. So partners out there, if you have these use cases, you have customers that have challenges with these legacy environments, talk to Michael here. He can help. The power of Intelisys and Aryaka can help. We can solve those challenges. And so, Michael, thanks so much. Congratulations to you and to Janelle on another amazing partnership win between Aryaka and Intelisys.